Uh, I forgot to record, so let's get back and just review. Now I just press record because I want your friends also be able uh, to review. So just a quick review. Mr. Vafa, you have a question? Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I was just going to say that in the email we received, it indicated that the marketing class will start at 8 p.m. So maybe our classmates are waiting for 8 o'clock to enter the class.
Oh,
there are very few.
But it's already 8 p.m. It's 8:05, right?
No, it is 7:35 in the Afghanistan local time, Kabul time.
Oh, I see. That's interesting because the class is supposed to be right now. I don't know.
I'm chatting with some of the classmates in Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I told them that, and they told me that no, the class is at 8. So they are confused. There are some confusion.
That's interesting. Okay, I need to double check that with the admin to make sure why it is the case, because I was told the class starts at 8. Okay, so yes, we will definitely figure out what's going on over there. So let's just start again because I forgot to record. So I welcome you back to the class again. Let's go through the slides, and then I will explain to you the assignment and also your task. So as I mentioned, what is marketed today is everything. Nowadays, everything is marketed, and it could be goods, services, events, experiences, persons, places, whatever you name it, it could be marketed today. So basically, the business is much more broader than what it used to be. So it could be anything. And the United States, we also discussed that, like, it could be negative, or when you're providing a product or service, it's that the demand is negative, it's not there, or it doesn't exist at all, or it's slow, or it's kind of slowing down, or sometimes it's not stable, or it's not directed, or unwholesome, or sometimes it's full. So all these different types of demands will influence your type of business. So whatever the demand is, you have to sometimes change the demand state or use and benefit from the demand state. So demand will definitely influence your supply as well. And then we have key customer markets. What are the customer markets nowadays? There are several different markets. We have consumer market, business market, global market, and non-for-profit market. So basically, our market is much more general than it used to be. Like, it used to be just the consumer, the individual who would come and buy some products from you. But nowadays, we have the business markets, which like a business can buy from you. As I mentioned, like you're providing napkins, let's say, and then your customer could be another business, let's say a chain of restaurant, like let's say McDonald's or Starbucks comes and buy napkins from you. So you are providing to another business, so they will buy in masses, buy a lot of products from you. So it's much broader than it used to be. Or it could be global. You could be exporting certain stuff to other countries, other regions, or you could be part of the government. So it's non-for-profit. It could be part of the education ministry or some other ministries that are funded by the government. So it's non-for-profit. So the market is much broader than it used to be. Then a lot of things are changing. This is the time of change. Technology is changing. We see major stuff that they never existed a few years ago. Now we know Facebook, that it's like $50 billion, $500 billion company. Now is it didn't exist a few years ago. Now it has changed everything. Every single business is using Facebook. So Facebook is like, or many other things, technology, internet like was not there 2 decades ago. So We see how things are changing and how we are reacting to that. Globalization, like I am teaching the class from some other part of the world, and you are listening to my class. That's part of the globalization. We are globalized. We have outreach. People are doing business. Let's say Amazon.com. We can buy a product from another country and they ship it to you. So you see how global it is. Now it's just your click away. You're just a click away from what you need or what you want to buy. So that's basically very, very, very different from what it used to be. And then the deregulations. Of course, all these changes call for some deregulations. There are so many regulations and rules for import and export and stuff. So now they are taking them away. You see countries, they're trying to go into a free trade, like United States have a free trade agreement with Canada, that kind of things. And Europe, European Union, they have that free trade, and ASEAN countries, and you see all these agreements are trying to deregulate and make it easier. So those are changing. And privatization, you see the governments are giving away their responsibilities to private sector. You see that it's happening around you, and because of that, the customers and the business providers are more empowered to do stuff. And you customize. You can customize your laptop. You can customize your car. There used to be a time that you would just buy a product as it was, but now you are the one who make it look like the way you like. Now you choose the color of your car. If you're buying a car, let's say you're buying a Maserati or some different car, you can choose the color of the rims. You can choose the steering wheel. You can choose everything. You can choose whatever you want. So you can customize. You can customize the services. Let's say you're getting services from a service provider. Let's say you're getting services from telephone companies. Now they're providing all those different type of customization. They will help you to have your own certain voicemail. They will help you to have your own certain greeting and all those kind of things. And you will always customize your own plan. You can customize. And convergence, they're converging and changing and altering to different type of they're merging together, or they are transforming to different things. And then this intermediation, the intermediaries, those middlemen are kind of removed now. Like all that Amazon does is removing the intermediaries. Now you just buy the product from the product producer. You don't have to buy it from the shops that they will charge you extra money. You just buy it and they'll ship it to you. So you see how different it is nowadays. I see Mr. Wafal's hand. Would you like to ask a question?
No, sorry, that's from my previous question.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for this. I should remember to.
Is there any other questions so far? Okay. 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 So let's go to the next slide. Then the company orientation. The company orientation means the arrangement. The arrangement of the companies could be different. Production orientation is the oldest school, where you would just produce, and then you would just try to focus on what you will offer, and the people will buy regardless of your product. There will be no differences in the type of the product you would offer. You would just offer whatever there is, and there wouldn't be any kind of difference in what you offer. So it was the old time, So the consumer would prefer products that are widely available and inexpensive. They should be inexpensive. Then there was a time that you will just proposing customers' favorite products that offer most quality, the performance, the features. So, and it's still the case many times that you see that products are are very much focused in the certain companies. Like they're just focusing on the product. They try to give you the best quality, the best price, the best features for the product, and that's all they care for. There's also another orientation or concept of the company that you're just trying to sell. So all that you care for is to sell more stuff to more people more often for more money in order to make more profit. So you're just trying to sell. So that the idea is just selling. You see a lot of businesses are going into that direction. You see a lot of companies that are just trying to sell. So all they care is how they can boost up their sales. So if they can sell more, means they're more successful. If they can sell less, then they're less successful. So the idea is, you know, how basically you make sales. I see a question from Mr. Riasi. Please go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Fad, actually I had a question regarding the previous slide that I had raised my hand, but I think it wasn't visible or something.
Okay, no problem. I go to the previous slide. Okay, yeah. Please go ahead.
I wanted to know more about convergence and this intermediation. What do they exactly imply?
Okay, sure. So basically what we mean by convergence is when you converge or alter different types of marketplaces into one. Let's say you used to have, let's say, retail industry. You used to have retailers doing the job, and then you would have the product line, you would sell to those guys, and then they will sell to the customers. So basically, I'm answering your question 2 in 1. So time has changed. Now, instead of just the retailers doing the selling, you as a product producer, you could sell your product yourself. You know, we see that Amazon now, they have their own inventories. So instead of just, they started as a bookstore, the biggest bookstore in the world, and now they're the biggest store in the world. They sell you whatever you want, you know. So by doing that, they have converged different layers of business into one, and also they have removed a lot of intermediaries. There used to be so many people that you would sell your product as a producer, and they would sell it to their customers. Now that you removed all of them, and there's only one. Instead of, because each middle person will add to the price. Let's say if I have a pen and it costs only $2, if there are 2 or 3, 4 middlemen, each of them would try to reap some benefit of the pen. So the final price for that pen would be $10 instead of $2, because each of them will add to the price. So you as the final consumer are paying $10 for a pen that you could pay only $2. So if I can do something that I remove all the middlemen, you could buy the pen by $2. So I better off and you better off. You know what I mean? So that's what's happening nowadays. Is there any other question?
Yeah, disintermediation, please.
This is disintermediation. That's right. So convergence is how you converge and alter and mix and bundle them together. And then disintermediation means you get rid of the intermediaries.
Okay, thank you.
Did I answer your question, Mr. Riasi?
Yes, of course you did, but I think I need some practical examples, like intermediaries. What do they mean?
Okay, yeah. So as I mentioned, like in our example, like the retailers, like those people who are adding money. Let's say if I'm the producer of the pen, which is only $2, instead of selling it to another person, which is a retailer, and he will send it to another person to reach the market, I myself will reach to the market using the websites or online online stores. So by that, I'm removing 3-4 other retailers who would add to the price of that pen, you know. So Amazon is a good example. Like so many different companies nowadays, they're starting to remove the middleman. You buy the product from the person who produces instead of just, you know, so many different middlemen. I mean, that's where we are going. You buy, let's say you buy antiques. You can just go to eBay and put your product on eBay and sell it yourself to somebody else. You don't have to sell it back to some pawn shop and then they will sell it to somebody else. You yourself can sell your product.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, I got it.
Sure. No problem. Any other questions so far? Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So we talked about company orientation, the marketing mix. This is of absolute importance. This is very important for marketing. The understanding of marketing mix is very, very important. So what do we mean by marketing mix? We have our products and our customer side. So always look at, whenever you are looking at a marketing aspect of a company, try to consider both sides. Basically, the 4 Ps are regarding the producer side or the company side. And the 4 Cs is on the other perspective. As a receiver or a beneficiary, what do you get? So as 4 Ps, you know, we have the product. Your company is producing the product. It has a price to it. It has a place to it. There's a certain place that they produce the product, and then the promotion plan or whatever promotion that you offer. So let's say just a simple example is like iPhone is the product. The price, let's say, is $600. The place is, let's say, in different Apple stores, and then the promotion is all these different promotions they bring into place to sell their product, like iPhone 4 with a certain promotion, then iPhone 4S, you know, all those different promotions they have all along the line. And then the consumer side, customer solution. Product should solve a problem. Basically, nowadays, it should be a valuable thing to the customer. It should produce or provide some value to the customer. So it's a solution to the customer now. And then price is a cost to the customer. So you see how it goes from one side to the other. Your price is a cost to the customer. And then the place should be convenient. It's a convenience, a matter of convenience. How do I get the product? Let's say if there's no Apple store in my city or in my country, how should I go about it? Is it convenient for me to get it? Or maybe it's not as convenient as it is in some other places. So then I can, like me as a company, I can't make that much benefit that I could if I had a convenient store for you, you know. And then promotion is a way of communication. As I mentioned, marketing is all about relationship with the customer. So promotion is how you're communicating your new products to the customer. So that is very important. I want to just spend more time on this slide. I want to make sure everybody is clear about it. Anybody has any questions on these 4 Ps and 4 Cs? What is the difference between price and customer? Okay, it's a good question, Mr. Akmal. The price, you know, when you are the company, you're producing a product, let's say that iPhone. When I produce the iPhone as an Apple company, it has a price to it because like my production and everything ends in a price. So I call it a price. But I'm the producer, right? So as the customer, when somebody wants to buy that product, they will look at it not necessarily as a price, but as a cost, because they have to incur that cost to be able to get that phone. So it's just the different sides of looking at the same thing. You're looking at a product, but one side says this is my price because I produced it at this price, and then the other side looks at it as his or her cost. So it says it costs me this much to buy this product. Should I do it or not? There's a direct relation between the price. Yeah, there is a direct relationship. So basically, like it's just two sides of one coin. You know, one side says this is the price, one side says this is the cost. So the higher the price is, means that the higher your production cost is, the higher the cost for the customer would be, and the lesser the chance that they will buy it. So basically, there's a very direct relationship, and it's a win-win situation. If you have a lower price for your product, if you have a good technology and good tools and good ways of reducing your prices, your customer will incur less cost, and there's a higher chance they will buy your product. So there's definitely a very, very direct relationship in there. Is there any other question? Okay, Mr. Biasi, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. If I understood the customer cost, the meaning of the customer cost correctly, in this example, for example, there's a company and they have or there's a shop, they have a regular customer, usually going there and buying something from them. And then the price of something is just, for example, $5, and then he expects, like, sometimes because he's always buying, so the company sometimes say, okay, let's give this customer $5 free, for example, each week or each month that he's coming, so that the cost of this customer is higher than the $5 of price for this, because he or she is a regular customer. Does it also mean something like this? Thank you.
I'm not sure if I understood your question correctly, but I think you're referring, if you are a regular customer, your cost would be higher. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. For example, let's say there's a shop, and there is a regular customer always going and for shopping there.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the company says, okay, in order to keep this customer, in order to keep him satisfied, and because this customer is always buying from us, maybe once a week or once a month, the company also provides him something for free, and that thing costs around $5. So here the price is $5 US, but the cost of the customer higher than that to keep this customer always coming there doing shopping.
I see. Okay.
Is it something like this?
Okay.
Or do I understand it?
Okay, I understood what you mean by your question. Basically, what the company does in that sense is they are trying to promote. You know, promotion is basically you're jumping from the price to the promotion, because when you have the price, let's say you have a certain product for a customer. Let's say you're producing clothing or certain pants, and your customer always comes and buys regularly those pants, and then you give them like rewards or gifts and everything. Basically, you're promoting your product to keep your customer as a loyal customer. But the thing is, in the long run, we have a concept called economies of scale. So let's say if a pen costs me $2 to make, if I only make one pen. But if I make 10 pens, instead of $2, it will cost me $1. So the more you create, the cheaper it gets, because you have like when you divide the numbers and the price you get, you will benefit from there. So then your price, as you produce more, will go down, and your customer cost will go higher, even though they are paying the same price. You know, so in that sense, you're not necessarily incurring a cost, giving them a promotional extra thing, because it's costing you less than the price that you're always charging you, because they are paying it in the long run, so you benefit from there. Did you could you understand? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. I understood this the explanation, but then I'm now not clear about the customer cost.
Okay.
What does exactly that mean? Thank you.
Okay, sure. So the customer cost here, the customer is paying the same price, right? So it's supposed to be the same cost, but the thing is, the cost is higher, even though the loyal customers are those, even though they are paying the same price, but they are incurring more cost because as I mentioned, in the long run, they are paying more. So the customer is earning more. So it's like it's a two-way relationship. So mostly what companies do, they make sure the customer is still okay to move on with them and continue to keep purchasing by giving the promotional things, giving them discounts, giving them rewards, or all those things to keep them loyal to themselves, because it's so easy for a customer to switch to another company, and then losing a customer will cost you a lot of money, because getting a loyal customer is not easy. So we are talking about a loyal customer who's buying a lot of things from your company. So in that case, you try to make sure you keep that company. So you're right that the cost, if the customer keeps buying at the same price, would be higher for the long run. But the thing is, the company will always provide some promotional prices to make sure that the customer is happy.
Good, thank you. Yes,
sure. Beautiful. And then I have another question down here. How the promotion can control the price and in which side positive or negative. Okay, so basically promotion mostly is intended to control the price. I mean, basically what you do is you promote a product when it's a new product, or it's a new feature to product, or you want to keep your customers, or you want to make some more awareness in the customers. So basically it is not intended to increase or decrease the price, but to market the product. So basically promotion is not necessarily to change the price, but sometimes when you have a change in the price, you also promote that change. Let's say you used to charge your books as a publisher like $20. Now you have a better machine that publishes your books and it will cost you less. So now you're charging $15. So you got to make sure you promote that decrease in the price to the customers so that they know about those changes. So it all depends, but doesn't change the concept of promotion, which is promoting your customer and communicating with them. Promoting your product to the customer. Then we'll give the cost for a product. I think might be company, but we'll keep the cost for that. The cost, basically is the other way of saying the price. First, as a company, you incur the price to produce the product, and then your customer will incur that cost to buy it from you. So basically, if I understand your question correctly, Mr. Akmal, you're saying who pays for that? First, you as a producer, you make sure you pay that cost to produce the product, and then you get it back. But the thing is, when you get it back, of course, you have your benefits and your profit in there as well. So you don't just charge the customer that's exactly the same price that it costed you to produce the product. There's always an extra profit on top of your production cost that will be your benefit. Give the price for the product. I think it might be given by the company. Okay, the price for the product is very, very important. The price is something determined by the market, by the company, by the consumer. Let's say if you are in a watch industry, and then you are producing a watch, you need to know where you stand in the market. Are you like a very classical, branded, well-known watch? So you're competing against certain type of watches. So you have a certain price limit that you can compete against, right? So basically, the price would be dictated to you by the market, by the consumer who has a certain level of push and power in buying purchases, and also yourself as a production cost. So let's say you're producing that watch and it will cost you $200, right? So that's your cost. You can't sell it at $200. So now you need to decide whether to sell it at $300, $400, $600, or $700 or whatever price. So what makes you choose is first you need to see where you stand in the market, and then according to the market you set a price. And then you need to know the customers, if they're willing to pay that price, you know, all these kind of things. So the price would be determined that way as well. Any questions? Okay. So seems that we are pretty clear about this. I really want you to focus on these 4 P's and 4 C's. They are very important in marketing. They are like foundations of marketing. You need to understand how they work. So please spend more time on studying it from your book, and also if you have any questions, get back to me. Okay. Then the core concepts. Okay, so the core concepts of marketing, we have needs, wants, and demands. So what are needs? Needs are requirements, what you basically need. I mean, let's say you as a person have certain needs, right? You have like you need some food, you need some shelter, all these kind of different things that we need. I mean, those are requirements that we have. These are things that we need. So they are pretty indirected or undirected. They are just what we need, and they don't have any directions. But wants are very when we basically, you know, we know what we want. We basically, the requirement and the need is now sort of directed towards something. It's like the willing to do something. So I could say needs are the basic human requirements, like the food, air, water, shelter. And then the wants is when they are directed to the next specific object that might satisfy the need. So first you have the need. The want is when you have a specific sort of object, you know, that it might satisfy your need. And then we have the demand. Demand is a specific product backed by the ability to pay. The wants, of course. So to put it again, first you have the need, which is what your basic human requirements. The want is the directed sort of need that you know that towards a certain object that you know it will satisfy your need. And finally, the demand is your wants for specific products, and you have the ability to pay. So that is what we care for in marketing. So basically, if you have the need, you're not necessarily a customer. If you have the want, you could be a customer. But if you have the demand, you are definitely a possible customer because you have the ability to purchase. Let's say if I don't make that much money to buy a very classic car or like a Rolls-Royce car, right? Of course, I need transportation, and I want a car, right, to meet my transportation need. But do I have the demand for a Rolls-Royce if I only make $1,000 a month? Probably not, because I don't have the ability to pay for that product, right? And then, then we have the target market. Target market is where when you target a certain market. So let's say you are producing a certain product, you target a certain market, and you produce your market, and then you position your product in that market, and then you segment and make certain different segmentations for your market to make sure that it falls into the right category. So it's like steps after steps. So first You target a general market. It's like huge market. Let's say you're just producing sodas. So sodas includes everybody who drinks sodas. Then you position your soda into like orange juice and certain type of orange juice, and then you segment it. You say it's a healthy orange juice for certain type of people. Let's say for young people or older people who like this certain vitamins. So you're positioning yourself as a healthy orange juice producer. So first your target market is those who drink, and then you position that on your segment. And then offerings and brands. So you have your brand and image of the company, what is your value offering, and then the satisfaction. So what sort of satisfaction do you bring about from the customers by offering your brand? So let's say Original, which is an orange juice company, they are pretty well known, and their brand in itself brings some satisfaction in customers because they know it's a good product. So now I open for questions. Are there any questions? I see a question already in there. I'm there. So what are the specific differences between needs, wants, and demands? As I mentioned, needs are just general human requirements. They're what you need, just air, food, water, just general requirements to survive. And then wants is when you direct them towards certain objects. Okay, if you need food, if you're hungry, you need a certain object to satisfy your hunger. Let's say it could be a chicken rice meal, or it could be just a grilled chicken. It could be bread or whatever. So this is how you go about it. It's a want of certain. Let's say you're thirsty, you want a mineral water. So that's the thing. And then the demand comes in when you can pay for it. Then you have the ability to pay for that certain product that satisfies your requirement or need. Okay, so that's for that. And then not clear positioning and segment. Okay, it goes like steps. As I said, the first step is you choose your market. As I mentioned, if you're producing sodas or drinks, you are targeting all those who drink. It's like very big. Then you position yourself. You say, okay, among all those soda or whatever type of drinks that they offer, I want to be an orange juice or fruit juice producer. So you're positioning yourself in that target market, in a certain part of that market. Okay, I'm going to produce juice or fruit or whatever in that market. And then segment it. You say, okay, what kind of juice, orange juice? Okay, it's kind of healthy for this type of vitamin C, for this type of, customers. So basically, you're just zooming down into certain details. So from general view into specific characteristics. And then what is the value in economy or marketing? So value is when you are benefiting the customer tangibly or intangibly. Means not necessarily just the money or the physical value. It could be also intangible value. Let's say when you are getting Samsonite suitcase, other than just the Samsonite suitcase, just getting it will give you the satisfaction of the brand that you're getting, because it's sort of very classy and chic kind of product, so it gives you some satisfaction. So basically that also includes the value. Then okay, and let's see if there are any other questions down there. Which time the number of customer are being increased at the time of, okay, basically needs, all of them, they increase the number of customers, and they are all the different steps of creating customers. First, sometimes you need to create the needs, sometimes you need to create the wants and the demands. It all depends. every single product or every single customer goes through all these different steps, you know. So basically, let's say there was a time that there was no computer, so there was no need of a computer because people wouldn't think about a computer. But there was a guy who was named Bill Gates, and he came up with the idea of having a computer. So he created that idea, and then now people need computer to do certain stuff because they have to go online, they have to come to class and at Worldwide Science to attend their classes. So now they need computer. So now they have the need, they have the wants, and they have the demands. They can afford to buy it. You know, so it's not necessarily everything is settled down and it's like the way it is. It always changes. Is demand related to the shortage of the particular? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It's just a matter of, it's very relevant. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Marketing channels. So there are channels in marketing, how you channel your product. So you use different channels or different medias or magazines or different types of marketing to reach your customer. And then your supply chain. Your supply chain basically refers to how you basically, it's a longer channel from raw materials to components to the final products that are carried to the buyers. So basically, it goes from A to Z. Your supply chain is how you produce a product, how you send it to retailers, how you send it to the next guy, and how you send it to the customer. So the whole thing from raw material to the end product, which is in the hand of the customer, is your supply chain. And then the competition, of course, the market has a competition for you. You are competing against certain rivals in the market, so you're always competing against each other. So competition is very important. It's one of the core concepts of marketing. Then marketing environment. So basically, the whole environment of the market will impose some marketing environment because everybody's marketing their products and services. So it creates a sort of environment of marketing around you. So you move according to those environments. And then you do planning. As I mentioned, nowadays you can't just say, okay, let's produce a product and then we'll think of the marketing. You need to plan it first, plan it ahead. You need to know what exactly you want to do. So then we go to the next slide. I want it, I need it, and then so let's go back. Okay, so you want it. You want something means you have the requirement for it. So then you go to the next step, which is needed, the need. So there are 5 types of needs that we deal with. One is the stated needs. The stated needs are those that we mention them. We sort of, voice them out. We say, okay, this is my need. So, you already know that your customer has that type of need already, right? So that is one type of need. The other one is called real needs. Are those needs that are already there, are already out there, and you know about them, but they are not necessarily stated, like certain type of products that are already there are according to the customer's real needs. And then unstated needs are those needs that they don't say them, they don't mention them necessarily. They just have them, and they don't like your customers are not necessarily saying that we have these type of needs, please satisfy them. Then we have delight needs. Delight needs are those type of needs that the customer would like to like you to include that. And then we have secret needs. The secret needs are those type of needs that the customer wouldn't tell you, but it's sort of unconsciously in his mind. So just to give you an example, stated needs, the customer wants an inexpensive car. I come to you and say, hey, I need an inexpensive car, okay? Then my real need is I want a car that is operating, its operating cost is not its initial price is low, This is a real need maybe. And then unstated needs is probably when I expect good service from the dealer. You know, this is, I won't tell you, but this is my expectation already. I have that unstated needs for you to provide me with a great customer service. And then the light need is when you as a dealer put some GPS on top of like the car that you give me a free GPS. So then you would delight me as a customer. And my secret need probably is when I have a certain type of preferences. I want to be presumed as a savvy consumer, as a consumer that is like up to new things. You have a new car, so I want to people think of me as a savvy guy, you know. So that is also a type of need. So what is delight needs and secret needs with an example? Yeah, as I mentioned, delight needs is when you delight the customer. You're giving the customer a cell phone, but at the same time you give them a free cover, so that just they're happier. So and they expect you to do that. So that's like kind of delight need. And then secret needs are those kind of needs that you have in mind as a customer. You don't even know as a customer you have them, but it's probably something that the marketeer and the producer will have in mind. As I mentioned, you have a certain type of, you want your, let's say you're using certain product to show off to your friends, right? So that's a secret need. So unstated need, as I mentioned, is the need that you basically expect from the producer to provide to you. So these are different types of needs. And then marketing management tasks. So basically, as a marketing manager, the tasks are developing marketing strategies. You need to come up with marketing strategies. You need to know how to market your products and services. You need to capture marketing insights. You need to research and do research on how to get the market. And then connecting with the customers. As I mentioned, marketing is all about connecting and having a relationship with the customer. Okay, so basically you want to make sure you connect with the customer, and they know you're there, and sort of you are making them aware of the product or the service that you're providing. So these are all different types of jobs that you have to do as a marketing manager. And then building strong brands. You need to make a very strong brand in the mind of the customer, so they know you are a good quality brand. Your brand means certain type of characteristic to them. So that image, that brand will just the name would mean what type of product you're offering. So there are major type of products and services and companies that they have done that very successfully. So like we know iPad. iPad is a tablet. So basically there are many times that people interchangeably use iPad as tablet. Like you're buying a tablet from Motorola, but just because it's like a tablet, you call it an iPad. I mean, by mistake, but it shows how strong the brand of iPad is. That people are taking it as the meaning of the tablet. Tablet is all those things that you can, it's like touch screen and you can use. So basically, it shows how strong a brand could be and how difficult it could become for other competitors to compete against you. So I just want to pause here and make sure everybody's following me. Any questions so far? I already see some questions down here. There's supposed to be questions for everyone to avoid repeating the same question. What's the difference in unstated and secret needs? Okay, we sort of covered the unstated and secret needs. We covered the real needs. Real needs is, as I mentioned, when you go buy a car, maybe your real need, you might say, I want a cheap car, right? Let's say I have certain money. and I say I need a cheap car. This is what I say. It's my stated need. But maybe my real need is not necessarily the first price I pay, it's the operating cost of the car in the long run. So that's my real need. So sometimes as a producer, as a company, you need to understand there's a difference between the real need and the stated need. What they say they want is not necessarily what they want. So you need to be able to marry them together. You need to make sure that they sort of see the connection, what they really need and what they probably think they need. You know, that's also a difference there. What are the differences between a real? Okay, we covered that. So very good. Is there any other question? You can raise your hand. You can, voice it out, or you can just write it down. So I presume that you are good. So we go to the next slide. Real needs and the unstated needs are not necessarily the same. They are the same in the sense that they are both needs, yes, but they are different types of needs. Okay. Then marketing management tasks. We talked about the building of strong brands. We talked about shaping market offerings. So by your offerings, your market offerings, you need to shape them in a way that they will satisfy the customers. Then delivering value, as I mentioned, it's all about how you deliver value to the customers and communicate value and create long-term growth. So you need to communicate the value that you're offering to your customers, and then out of that, you need to make some long-term relationship with your customers. So this is the end of chapter 1. So let's go to the next chapter. Is there any questions so far? Okay, nobody has any questions, right? Okay. Okay, do you mind sending us a group project? Sure, absolutely. I will send you the project for the strategic management project and also for your marketing. Okay, sure, no problem. You can always ask me questions. You can ask it now or later, no problem. Every session, like next session, I will open the floor for some questions, so feel free to ask me. So now that everybody is almost here, let me just share this with you. I really appreciate if you could come on time to the class. So our class in the morning we will start, and then right after we will start our marketing class. So if you could just come on time and so that we can start the class, that would be great. And of course, if you miss the class, you could always refer to the recorded version of the class. You can just use that. But please attend the class as you can. Okay, so let's go to the next chapter, developing marketing strategies and plans. So the chapter questions is how does marketing affect customer value? How do we change that? How do we affect that? How is strategic planning carried out at different levels of the organization? And what does a marketing plan include, basically? Those are what we're going to talk about. So basically, improving value delivery the Japanese way. So we always try to improve like the customer feedback time, the product improvement time, the purchasing time, setup time, and defects. So the Japanese way is basically, they are very much concerned, like Toyota is a very good example of doing all these stuff. They always have the customer feedback time for you to get a feedback. I mean, like when you are providing that product, like a Toyota car, to your customers, you always, you know, give them a chance, a time to give you feedback. And then you always use that feedback to improve your product at the same time that you just do it yourself. And then you give the purchasing time, setup time, and the defects. So you see, all of these are very important in you know, Japanese way. And then 3-value approach to marketing. First, you need to define the value segment. You need to know what is the segment that you are targeting and what type of value are you going to offer to them. And then how are you going to propose that value? How are you going to offer that value to the segmented market? And then and finally, how are you going to communicate the value? Because your network is how you basically connect to the customers. So that is also very important, and we want to make sure we know how to do that. So then benchmarks. Basically, as a company and a corporation, you always need to make sure you have benchmarks. I see Mr. Qiyasi's hand raised already. Yes, Mr. Qiyasi, please go ahead.
Mind, can you please come back on the 3 V's and elaborate a little bit further, because I didn't understand proposition, segment, and network, what exactly is referring to.
Okay, sure, absolutely. I will explain it to you. So basically, as I mentioned, you didn't understand the segment also. Did you understand the segment part?
Exactly. Value segment, value proposition, value network. Network, more or less, yes, but value segment and value proposition.
Okay. Basically, as I mentioned in marketing, what we're dealing with is value, right? We are supposed to provide customers with value. It's not just we are giving them a product, we are giving them some values, right? So having said that, you need to know your value is segmented in what part of the market. You need to know exactly where you're going to, you know, put your product in the market. So exactly, your value is being directed towards a certain part of the market. So that's called value segment. And then you are sort of propositioning and, you know, suggesting your value and product into the market in a certain way. So to be exact, let me give you an example. Let's say you have a fan. You know, your company produces fans, you know, for summer and stuff. So basically, the type of customer that you're targeting, let's say you have a fan which is not pricey, so it's kind of like reasonable price. So you are trying to target those customers who want like their summer to just have a fan which is like not so pricey, and you are targeting a certain group of customers who are not looking for expensive fans. It's just a functional fan which helps them to, you know, get rid of the heat of the summer. Okay, so that's the segment. How you propose that? It's your approach. You need to provide them with the value that they, by paying that reasonable price, they get the function of enjoying the breeze of the fan in their houses. So, like, you could use different plans and marketing plans to make sure they get that. And then The value network is how do you use, what type of networks do you use? Do you use online advertisement like TV or media or whatever type of advertisement to make sure they hear your proposition and understand what type of value you're offering. So I'm not sure if you are clear on that right now. Did I answer your question, Mr. Diassi?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so yes, Mr. Nazari, we are quicker this time because we have a lot to cover. But if you have questions, you could always stop me, and I will, explain it to you. No problem. So, as I was mentioning, we have benchmarks. We have organizational cost and performance measures. So basically, it's like a two-side kind of benchmark. You, as an organization, you cannot just go on and see what happens and just see what's going to come to you. You need to always measure what you're doing. So you have to double check all the time. How do you do that? You benchmark with your cost and performance measurements, and at the same time, your competitors' cost and performance. So you see that pretty common. You see, like, one day there's a product coming to the market at a certain price. That's the only product. That's the only company offering that product. They can set their own price. Suddenly, there will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 other companies providing the same products. So there, the competition comes, and they have to match their prices. Like bank industry, they have like different accounts, right? And with different rates and different fees that they charge, but they have to match with the competitors. They can't just say, okay, we charge this price, forget about others, because customers will switch to others if you're just charging them extra amounts, So you got to be careful about that. So then we have core business processes. Okay. So core business processes is market sensing. You need to sense the market. You need to gather the intelligence and information about the market. Let's say, if back to the fan example, if you're going to do that, you need to search the market, see how many type of fans are there, how many type of companies are producing the same type of functional fans that you are offering. And then new offering realization means that all activities in researching and developing and launching the high quality offerings quickly and within the budget. That's also very important. When you are offering the product, it should be within the budget. You can't just be so idealistic and spend all the money and then go without the money. You need to go within your budget. You need to know how to launch it with the quality that you expect and your customer expected from you. And then the customer acquisition. That's very important. That's probably one of the most important parts, is that when you are going to define the market and prospecting for new customers, you need to know who you're targeting and how you're going to get those customers. Because if you're new to the industry, probably you don't have any customers yet. So you need to know which customers you're talking to, and then if you're able to get them, you need to make sure you're able to. And then the customer relationship management. When you talk to the customer, when you finally get the customers, you need to manage your relationship with the customers. It's like from A to Z. First, you do the market research, make sure your product have the quality required from you, and you're able to launch the product. Then make sure you reach to the customers. When you get the customers, make sure you have a good relationship with them. And then fulfillment management is probably the ending part, which is the receiving and approving orders, shipping, and it's kind of getting the job done, which is like from A to Z. You do the first part to the last, which is getting the product to the customer and make sure everything is all right. Then difference between the organization cost and competitors cost, in a simple example. Okay, organizational cost perhaps let's say you're producing iPads or tablets in general, right? If you have been doing it for a long time, like Apple does, you have probably a cheaper cost compared to a newer companies. But let's say when Motorola and Samsung, they want to start doing it, probably they will incur more cost compared to Apple, right? So, but the thing is, Apple has already set some standards. When a new company is making tablets, they got to make sure they can compete against the Apple's tablets. So they might have to incur some costs in the beginning, offering the products cheaper than they could offer, because they are going to compete against iPads. Because if you are producing a product and you're new to the industry and you're charging the customer more than a very established, well-branded and with a high image company, nobody's going to buy it from you. You got to make sure you're producing something that is giving them value. So that's how there is a difference between the cost of the competitors and the cost that it's to you. Skills and experiences. Skills and experiences, in what sense? I don't exactly know if I follow you, Mr. Mahmoud. I don't know exactly what do you mean by experiences. Experiences in what sense? Okay. So characteristics of core competencies. So what we mean is a source of competitive advantage. If you remember from the last session, all the core competencies are supposed to be a source of competitive advantage. So you got to make sure that your marketing is a source of a competitive advantage. It's giving you a competitive. It's something that is not being copied. For those of you who are not present the last session last week, competitive advantage is something that gives you the privilege that customers will choose you over others, and that's something sustainable. It's not just something for temporary time. It's like over and over again, people will choose you over other customers. An application in a wide variety of markets, and it's difficult to imitate. These three are very important. You need to make sure that what you are offering, your product, is something that is only unique to you, and it's giving you the privilege of being chosen by customers over other product or service providers. And then applications, it should be applicable to a wide variety of markets. You can't just, I mean, there are segments and niche markets that you could focus on, but mostly for marketing, you got to make sure that it works in all different types of markets, so that you can reach them. And then that it should be difficult to imitate. So if you're offering a product and you're charging a price for it, and it's so easy to imitate with a cheaper price, so why would people buy it from you? If you're offering a product that's $10, there's another company imitating and giving me the exact same product with $2. Why should I buy it from you $10? I mean, I won't. So that's also very important. So back to you, Mr. Mahmoud. How about the skills and experiences in core business processes? Okay, the skills and experiences in core business processes, which is the previous slide, I suppose. Yeah, definitely. You need the experiences in all of them, but basically, this is how we generalize them. I mean, you need the skills and experiences to do the market research. You need the experiences to do the offering. You need to experiences to customer acquisition. So you have it all along. But it's not one of the categories of the processes. So skills and experiences will be handy doing all these. Okay. So I think it's safe to stop here because I have more to cover on your assignment. So we stop here now, and I'd like to tell you about your marketing assignment. So it's before I go to that, let's see if you have any questions. Do you have any questions so far? Everybody's clear about today's session? Everybody's clear? No questions? Okay, seems we are okay. So let's go to your assignments. So regarding your assignments, the marketing group project is, thank you. I need a marketing plan. Marketing plan for a business, could be your own business or imaginary, same concept. So on a strategic management class, I wanted you to write a strategy plan, and on your marketing plan, on the marketing class, I need a marketing plan. So then the requirements is it should be then same group of 5 people, and then 20 pages of the write-up and the PowerPoint, and also it's based on the application of the concepts, logical flow in the content, good teamwork, and good write-up and presentation. Then the write-up and presentation should be submitted by the last day in the last session this semester. No late submission is accepted. All team members should work, and the scores would be given based on the group work. And then the strategic, sorry, I have the wrong. Yeah, this is the wrong part. Okay, so this one is titled wrong. The marketing individual project is write an executive summary of how you apply the course into your career. Then it's also should be essays, no more than an essay, no more than 10 pages. It needs to be practical and applicable, not imaginary data, and assignments are due by the last session this semester. And then assignments will be scored by the practicality and authenticity of the essays, and no late sections are accepted. So it's pretty much the same concept, same type of assignment, different course, different content. Here is marketing. You're dealing with marketing, and I'm sure marketing and strategic management, both of them could sometimes help you hand in hand. But marketing plan and strategic plan is definitely 2 different types of plans for the corporation, and they all have them, and you definitely need them in your organization and type of business that you work at. So writing these 2 projects will definitely help you later on in your own careers. You'll see how it will help you understand how to apply the course in a practical way. So the reason I decided to have you write a group project and an individual project, basically they are sort of very much related to each other. I wanted you to do a group project to work together to make sure you understand how do a marketing plan and how to do a strategy plan. And then for doing the individual project, I want you to make it applicable to yourself. So by doing this project, even though you're being scored and assessed through the course, as I mentioned in the opening ceremony, the whole idea of our MBA courses is to help you and equip you with better skill set to be able to do much better and be able to succeed in your careers and your life. So basically, these are, even though they are part of the course, they will probably help you a lot later on because they help you to understand the concepts of the course and how to apply them into your own life. So the idea is to give you some useful assignment, not just something for you to do and do some copy paste. I want you to really understand what you are studying in the course and how you will apply it later on. Okay, so now I open for some questions and answers. Anybody has any questions? Are there any questions so far? want to use it in practice in private businesses. That's right. That's very true, Mr. Barr. That's why I thought these type of will be able to exist. What do you mean by OLAT? Hassan Azari. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, Mr. Wafa, I see your hand raised. Do you have any question, Mr. Wafa?
Yes, thank you very much. Just I want to say that we need to start working on our group project and individual projects, as you stated, as soon as possible. I'm just afraid that maybe during the next sessions, we have to learn some ideas to incorporate those ideas into our projects. So if we start now without knowing those ideas that we are going to learn during the next sessions, I just want to make sure that if we start after grouping tomorrow, that would be okay or not.
Very good. Very good point. Mr. Wafa, you raised a very good point. Basically, what you need to do is you can start as we go along. And as I mentioned, please, by all means, go through the slides before coming to class. Be ahead of the class. That makes you ready and prepared for the class. When you come to class, if you have already read these slides, then you will be able to apply like those examples into your your questions, and you could ask better questions. You could understand it better. So start working on your projects from right now. Write notes. You have time. Don't leave it for the last minute. Every single session, have a group meeting. Some of you already have your groups. Please do send me your groups very soon, as possible. Right now, after the class, I'm expecting those of you who already confirmed their group to send me your groups, including your name and your emails and the group leader, so that I can start grouping others into different groups, so that they can start working on their projects as well. Because I want to get it done today, so that people can just start video conferencing with each other, or whichever way that you're more comfortable with, exchanging emails and doing that group discussions every day after the class. I would suggest you to stay online. I mean, after the class, you could just start working on the project every single session. See how you can apply those concepts we taught in the class into your project. I want you to really work together and study together and discuss. That helps you a lot in understanding the course and getting a good job done on your project. So start doing it from right now. Write notes. Make sure you are on the right track, and don't leave it for later. And so then again, please email me your group names, those of you that have already confirmed the groups, and the rest. As soon as I get the emails, I will group you into other groups, those of you who do not have a group yet. So did I answer your question, Mr. Bafa?
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions so far? We are going to start production medical firm. How many groups? Okay, there are 30 students in my list, so it would be 5 in each group, so 6 groups altogether. Okay, so let's just have a task. Oh, we'll have lots of questions in the future. No problem, Mr. Barr. Make sure you go through the slides, and that helps you to Okay, Mr. Mahmoud, I'm waiting for your friends to email me their group names, and I will group those who don't have a group to have their own group. So your task on the marketing class would be, if you come and follow me here. Okay, as you can see here, characteristics of core competencies, right? So there are three aspects here: a source of competitive advantage, applications in a wide variety of markets, and difficult to imitate. So I want each and every one of you find and choose a company, okay? It could be your own company, it could be a world-known company, any type of company. And then name their source of competitive advantage, how that applies to different variety of markets, and how it's difficult to imitate. So, as I said, name, bring an example of a company and mention their source of competitive advantage. Okay. Okay, everyone. This is your task for the class. So please choose a company. Could be your own company or any company, as I mentioned and written down there. What is their competitive advantage, source of competitive advantage? What is the wide variety of markets? I mean, how it's applicable to the wide variety of markets, and how it's difficult to imitate. So make sure you discuss that, and then also you know, we can volunteer to share it with the class. So please start. Any question on the task? Okay, very good. Anybody wants to volunteer and share his or her example? And I just wanted to let you know, those of you who always volunteer in the class to share their answers, they will get bonus points. And so just the class participation is very important for your assessment also. Okay, Mr. Wafa, would you like to share with us your answer?
Yes, thank you very much. Just as regards to competitive advantage, I have one example. I'm sorry, I'm taking. AWCC is a communication company, telephone company in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
And the monthly fees,
what is the name?
AWCC, Afghan
okay.
Wireless Communication Company.
Mm-hmm.
It's a telephone company providing communication services.
Mm-hmm.
It has a monthly fees of 1,000 Afghanis per month for the use of GPS, which other companies do not have this competitive advantage. And I'm actually one of the consumers of or customers of AWCC, and I see that most people prefer this service for this advantage, which can be regarded as a strong competitive advantage for the company.
Okay, very good. Excellent example. So that GPS service is definitely a competitive advantage that is makes customers prefer them over other customers. And do you know how they can apply it to other markets?
Application wide variety of markets. Sorry, how they can apply this service to other markets?
Yes,
this particular service?
Yes.
I think that's possible, yeah, for any company. This was an example to and any company to win a good competitive advantage. They can facilitate or they can ease something different than other providers, or cheaper than other providers, and they can win the market, of course.
Yeah, but the thing is, the question relates to the same company. So this company that you mentioned has that competitive advantage. How can they apply their competitive advantage to other markets also? Same company.
Sorry, still maybe I don't know this question very well. So.
Oh, okay. Good. Your example was very good for the competitive advantage. So you could just think about how that company can also apply that same competitive advantage into different markets. So you mentioned that they are doing it in Afghanistan, in an Afghani company. Maybe they can give it into other neighboring countries or different markets also. Or maybe in Afghanistan they are only targeting certain group of customers. Maybe they can broaden their customers into different cities, you know, all these kind of things. And how is difficult to imitate, right? So maybe that GPS, how it's difficult to imitate. Maybe they are the only one. What type of technology it takes. So, and they probably are good at that. So that's a very good example, Mr. Rafa. Thank you very much. So I want you to, all of you, just think about an example of a company. I see that it's GPRS. No problem. It's GPRS. Okay. So just email me your tasks by end of next day, means 12 by 12 a.m. next day. So you know the questions, and please email me back. And so I'm waiting for you to send me your group names. Those of you who have the groups, please don't delay sending me that email so that I can make other people into their own groups so that they can start working on their projects. I will send you the assignments, and we can go from there. So thank you all. It was a great class. I hope you will have a great week, and see you next weekend. So just if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me and ask me any questions you have. And I just want to make sure if there's any questions. Is there any questions here? Okay, so seems everybody's clear about the projects and everything. So look forward to receive your emails, and you have a wonderful weekend, and you have a good one. Take care.